Well, welcome, Mylena. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah.
Mylena, as you know, it's in the United States, so she has accepted to do this Instagram Live. I think it will be very interesting content for everyone who is interested on how to always improve not only style. It goes further. It's more about how we feel inside, and then of course the rest comes along. So let's start with a short introduction that I will read because I don't want to miss anything about Mylena. Mylena Origi, aka Mylena Vocal Coach and the Voice Guru, has been demonstrating inseparable connection between the emotional sphere and the voice for over 30 years. She is the founder of Inborn Voice, an innovative coaching method focused on the voice and its frequencies. The approach focuses on removing blocks that limit personal expressiveness. Today, she is an internationally renowned expert in the field of personal brand and quantum voice training. Born in Busto Arsizio, close to Milan, she has begun her career by opening her first studio in Milan. Her fame quickly spread across the world, leading her to expand her work first in London and then to the United States, where she currently lives, between Boston, where you are right now, right?
Yes.
New York, Miami, and Los Angeles, and reaches the rest of the world online. She was the first person in the world to be awarded the prestigious and coveted Genius Green Card by the US Department of State for her extraordinary skills in the field of coaching and voice awareness, an honor reserved for a few outstanding individuals, including Albert Einstein. Her work has been featured in renowned fashion magazines such as Elle, Vogue, and Donna Moderna. She collaborates as topic expert with some of the most important international universities in setting and creating communication skills and personal development courses, including Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore here in Milan, STA Bocconi, is also here in Milan, both in Europe, of course. She works with leading companies and multinational corporations, training CEOs, CFOs, and managers, offering support to improve global communication at events, including streaming events, and to successfully deal with interviews. I hope I will do well today. She has written several books, and with her latest, The Way of the Voice, a secret hidden on everyone's mouth, she explains why the voice is the best hidden secret of so many people who have achieved success in both their personal and professional lives. She speaks and works mainly in Italian and English, and occasionally in French, Spanish, and Japanese. So amazing biography. And let me tell everyone, I have heard Mylena in a TV program and thought that what she does is intrinsically connected to what I like to do with my clients. You know, I take care of their image, but it's not taking care only of their exterior image. It's taking care first of their inner image, making them aware of who they are. Sometimes, believe it or not, people do not know it. And what she does is very, very connected, because voice as image is an instrument, and you cannot use it properly without knowing what to communicate, who you are. So, Mylena, many people associate voice coaching with singing or acting only. But when we met, and by listening to you, I have discovered that there's more, and it goes much deeper. You focus on voice as a way to express emotions and connect. Can you share 2 or 3 key aspects of how your inborn voice method applies?
Yeah, sure, Adriana. That's amazing to be here with you, and that's amazing to talk about an impressive and very nice and fascinating field and argument, I can say. So I can share with you 2 and 3 points. I select 2 and 3 perfectly, right? The one is obviously what you say, the connection, the unbreakable connection between voice and emotion. That was my first goal more than 25, 30 years ago, when everybody was just talking about voice as a sound. No, no. Voice is not just a sound. Voice is able to hide very deeply what we exactly are in our unknown personality. So what I discover, or better than discover, because I consider my job, my mission, my inborn voice a gift, is that voice cannot be disconnected by emotion, from emotion. So the goal is, when we talk about technical part of the voice, we think that we can just train our voice and that we can perfectly talk with everybody. No. When we try to use our tone, our volume, our whatever, the technical part, but the emotion are not reflecting the same, we are just faking. We are just sending a message that will never be correctly delivered. So that is my crucial and pivotal point. So I fight a lot, I keep fighting, and it seems that I win, all right? Because emotion and voice are deeply, strongly, and in an unbreakable way connected. So this is the first very
We cannot listen to you anymore. At least I can't listen to you anymore. I don't know why.
try to see if there is
Now,
any. Now
now
you
we
can.
can. Yeah.
Perfect.
You.
Okay, that was just an information on the, well, no, Instagram. I don't
Right.
know what it is. So coming back on that, um, now for today, the goal, the first goal of Inborn Voice during this live, okay, is never, ever, ever again consider voice only as an instrument that we can hear with our voice, but consider with our ears, and consider voice as something that is amazingly, divinely, I can say, deeper, deeper, and deeper. And I can share with you in this first point and other things. I can see, I can read. That's what my clients say, the present, the past, and the future of my clients, through their sound of voice. Doesn't matter the words, it matters the sound. Many of them has got a lot of different way to fix their own problem. When they reach inborn voice, they feel themselves completely naked. They know that I see what they feel, but nobody else can see, just using the mind. Because we work very connected. Amazing. On the emotional, and never ever the mind is involved. Second point that is very, very important too, and that's my favorite, I can say, is the impressive and very, I can say, unbelievable results that I have using this kind of approach. The approach has got its own, I can say, fundamental in the thematic and in the emotional frequency. So when I talk, when I listen, some of my clients or students or patient, whatever it is, I don't listen the words, I just listen the vibes, the emotional frequencies. So thematic is not yet science, but I consider it science that show very quickly that moving like a very earthquakes inside of us, we can go and dig to our true self. Many people talk about true self, self-awareness. No, 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 no. When you talk about true self and self-awareness, we know a very instant and pristine glue with your inborn voice. You're just talking, all right? And I always say to my client, you're talking here using your mind. You're talking here using just your voice and let the words go, right? Or you're talking here too much with your heart, your anxiety. When you talk with your deepest part, that must be very pristine and very clear and very transparent, then you can find what American and British people name the call.
Okay.
And the number 3 is the easiest one for everybody. That is the first approach to the voice concept. Is the more than 30 years of experience. I worked a lot with the technical facts at the beginning. I can say now that all my clients has deeply see that with this method Inborn Voice, because we work so precisely. I know exactly where to go, okay? We have very impressive and important results regarding the diaphragmatic breathing. They raise more than 50%. All right, so people start to breathe and get a lot of air to do their own speech, talk, and feel themselves more confident because they are not anxiety. Yeah. Then I fix many anxiety in the brain. Oh, when I need to start something, what can I do? I feel my heart bumping. All right, I say, if you do that, you will never feel it. It will be very natural. Then we work a lot on the vocal cords nodules, right? So you feel something that is not working. And I have many people that say, I make different paths, but with this method, I solve it. So the technical part that I don't talk a lot today is absolutely for me just a consequence. Very simple. Everybody that starts Inborn Voice, they find their true self. They have their own voice in life. All right, that's very amazing, not just for women, I can say. And they solve many of the biggest and well-known problems with using these amazing instruments. These are the 3 most important for today, but there are plenty of them.
There are more, yeah. How and when you got to understand how important to manage this is for either your personal or professional life, because it's key, right?
Yeah, it's key. So honestly, I can say that I realize in the fond of myself, in the very inner part of myself, I knew something was not clear, but clients by clients, students by students, patient by patient, I got so many testimonies, and I got that it's very clear that if you have a very well even can be a dress and makeup, or you feel that you are very nice, you go to the gym, your body is perfect, you know your friends, you can talk, you can do whatever you want. The superficial part needs definitely that the deepest one is connected. Even though many of my clients say, I work a lot on my body, I go to the gym, I made an amazing makeup, I did some surgery to feel myself with my body better, I did a very great outfit for the reason, but when I was there, boom, my anxiety, my no confidence, all my very ancestral part was involved, and I didn't know what happened, all right? So this make for me a key. Voice is the stone that grounds down people when they want to explain their own emotion, feelings, or in work and job, their own visionary ideas.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, my next question was, I think, was partly included in your recent reply, because I was going to ask how important is the voice when someone is redefining their image or personal style, right? Well, that's it's element number 1, because our image or style, personal or professional, is just a reflection of what we have inside. And how do we bring it out? Well, mainly with our voice.
Yeah, definitely.
But would you find another nice interpretation or
Yeah, plenty, right? So what I can say is that our voice give us the sense of being naked, right? So then you can put your dress, you can put your makeup, whatever it is. But if the voice show you that you are naked, we know how much is important. Naked is, not naked, right? Everybody has got this concept, is that naked means I face myself, I recognize in myself, I'm very honest with myself, so I can feel myself very strong. be honest, be transparent with the right and perfect direction through the inborn voice, give us back all we need to feel settled, grounded, powerful, wise. And then when you need to face any kind of situation, from naked to dress with the makeup or whatever, you feel yourself deep inside strong, right, well appreciated from yourself, completely aglued with your own nucleus and identity. Another very important step of inborn voice, right? When you have that, anxiety goes away. Your dress really reflects you. So even when they come to you, they can really ask you what they really have inside and not what they would love to be or they would love to appear because someone is different. No, 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 no. When you want to appear someone else, you will never have explained your voice and your emotions, so the other people will receive a disconnected message. So that's a lot behind this kind of concept, okay, Adriana? That's a little.
Absolutely, it goes much deeper. And in fact, as you were saying, I work with image, and of course, style is involved. Of course, everybody wants to appear stylish. You are also communicating with your style. You are telling people who you are with your style, being it romantic, classical, rock, or whatever. Do you believe there is a need of alignment between how we look and how we sound to boost self-confidence? Of course, the answer is yes, and we have been partly talking about this. How do we align?
Yeah. So this is the most difficult answer because obviously my mantra I can say is that we need to feel. So I never explain inborn voice and the work of inborn voice in an academic way or in a rational way or in a control way, whatever. You cannot. So when I talk with somebody and I meet a client, all right, the person starts to talk, then I start to feel, hear different frequencies. Then I recognize where the frequencies are completely disconnected, all right, even if they don't think. And when the frequencies got a very rounded, intense, sounds harmonious, that is very connected, and the emotion is able to go through. So you feel the person is touched, you are touched, so you move, you engage the other, right? The work of inborn voice is amazing. It's like, I can say, I don't know, a puzzle, or is like that kind of labyrinth that you need to find, the perfect door where you can go. That's exactly my mission and job. That's a gift. Explaining how is impossible. People needs to feel, needs to be on the session and say, oh, today it's a terrible day, so I don't know what to wear, I don't know what to say, tomorrow I have a speech, or tomorrow I need to go with my new boyfriend, I need to ask something, whatever. And I say, let's go on the deepest, in the roots. That's the reality, right? After that, they need to realize that's the harmony, the glue, the deepest part is the most important one, because people think that the deepest part is just something that we think it's deeper. No, the voice can show to me clearly when there is no a perfect resonance, and it's very very tiny, very very small nuances. I catch it, I break that, and then I help my clients go down. Many of my clients at the beginning, they are very completely, shocked. Someone is more than happy. Someone is shocked because has perfectly understood a lot of work that need to clean up all the stuff, all right? Some of them say, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want, Adriana, good people that has got very determined, very wants to do that, willingness, because without that, we can get anything.
Yeah. Can you tell us about, you work mainly with professionals, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about a voice makeover that
That's my
that
favorite.
excited particularly? I think it would be interesting for people to listen. What was the change?
Yeah. So what I can say is that I always talk about this lady, I can say, but this lady for me is an expression even today because now she works in one of the most important brand in the fashion style, and I cannot say the name, but everybody can understand. All right, in London, okay, and just
Okay.
opened an amazing place there, and I'm so proud of her. She came to me and she was totally confused. She didn't know where to go, what to do, and the meaning of her own life. She just bumped in my studio and say, "Hey, I need a direction. I have a voice deep inside of me that is telling me something, but I cannot translate it. It's blocks on the throat. I cannot." I tried honestly everything, any kind of professional, psychological, whatever. Tried, any kind of other coach, any kind of other holistic approach. Is my voice that is talking to me and say that I want something that is strong, intense, very unveiling my true self. And I don't believe in other these kind of things. I tried all the things. I'm here. I want to work. She sat down and she had some 30 minutes and she said to me, "It doesn't matter the time. If you have time, I want to stay the whole evening with you because I want to solve this problem." So she was definitely very determined, right?
Yeah.
Because she was confused. And when you have this kind of confusion, many people that they has got the kind of depression or whatever. Okay, I use this word. I'm not afraid about any kind of people that will say to me, "Oh, you need to think." No, 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 no. I work so much on that because depression means that the emotional frequencies are not in balance. All right. So she was confused. All right. And then she said to me, "Probably I'm not able to do anything." And I say, "Who tells you that?" She said, "Many people. Or just select another road, or do that, or do that." I want to do what is the right thing, what I feel in my, you know, deepest part, in my intestine, in my blood, in my, whatever, right? We spend a little bit of time. Now she's one of my best clients and makeover. And she started for a secretary job, very simple, that was not giving her back what she's in the reality. Then she starts to work and she said to me, "One of my dreams is to move myself to London." And I say, "I spent so much time in London. So I see and I listen in your voice, that's London, your place." So I said to her, "Keep in faith, believe in me, go to London." But I don't know very, very, very well English. I don't have a job. What can I do? That's reality. She believed profoundly in this inborn voice work. At the beginning, she obviously found, very, easy job in kitchen. She found jobs in painting. She found job that gives not back a lot of money, right? Clearly, she was looking for her own direction. Then one day I say to her, "You have got style. You have so much colors inside of your soul and in your voice. So very excited, very engaging, and a person that everybody can love." And after that, we try to work on this project. So we focus on the style. And now, after a lot of years of work, because it was not easy to work with a team, especially when you are in a specific process, now she is nearly at the top of the team. And I cannot say more than that because I want to respect the privacy. So you cannot imagine the satisfaction. Now she knows that style, dresses, whatever, can be a bag, it can be, is an expression of herself. And now she speaks English very well. She lives in London and she has found back his own smile. The family is very, very proud of her. All right. And she's definitely not changed, not only completely created a different aspect, she's reborn. That's my goal. That's I call inborn voice, to reborn again. I come from Buster Sitzel, you said, and Buster Sitzel is very famous for the phoenix, right? That is starts from the burns and that get back to life. That's my expertise. Give a rebirth. You cannot imagine how I'm so proud. I have plenty of clients like that, right?
Sure.
It's obviously connected with the style, with the fashion, so I can express it today for everybody.
Yeah, talking about this example that you brought, I think there is a very important element in this client of yours that was awareness.
Definitely, we work on that. If you don't feel that down, no. And she was aware that something that was proposed from outside in a rational way was not, oh, she was, and she's still very, I can say, passionate. When somebody is passionate, oh, please, nobody that is passionate follow the rational way will never work.
In our work.
Never.
Yeah, no.
I'm a passionate person. I cannot work with rational people. I work with some clients, because they need, but after a little bit of some rational session, they start to show who they really are. Because if they want to go far, they need to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's so important for people to be aware of the need of receiving a help to unblock what is stuck within you. That's great. And talking about voice and identity, are you referring to charisma when you
Definitely. Definitely. I see that we have a little bit of time and we have also the Q&A, so this will be very fast. Charisma is exactly, you feel my voice, you see my face. I'm in love with what I do. I can do it for hours. What about, so when you have this kind of passion, because you are perfectly, very tightly, very in a glue way, in an unbreakable way, connected with your draw and with your, I don't want to say destiny, but your divine, profound, intense purpose of life. The charisma flows. It doesn't matter if you are very, very nice or you are not so nice. I have so many young ladies, young girls, and young men that say to me, oh, I would like to be like that. And I say, look at your smile. Oh, it's not nice. And I say, it's very nice, all right? And working together, they start to see smile is my power. Because if I feel myself passionate with my real mission and purpose of life, my smile on the mirror is different. If I'm looking to someone else's purpose of life, I become transparent.
Yeah, authenticity. I've heard once, and I'm assuming you will agree with this. Even when you are in a phone call, there are many people who works on the phone. They sell, they advise, they whatever do on the phone. Nobody sees if they are smiling, if they are, but they can listen. If the smile on the face, on the person on the other side of the phone, the other will realize, and it totally changes the scene, the feeling of the person who you are talking to. You are not seeing each other, but you can listen to it.
Yeah. It's very, thank you so much, Adriana, for that, because we are in an era, I can say, that probably is at the end, all right, that people talk too much about the body language, body stuff. I've never believed on that. The body can help a little bit. I can say on my research is more than 15%. The voice is giving so many hidden information if we can educate or we try to train people, to get it. Because in the phone, even if you don't want, you are imagining how the person on the other side can be. But the voice impact directly inside of our emotion. If someone is angry, you can feel it. If it's not angry, but it's not very nice, you can feel it. The voice is the first and most important instrument that can really release all our sense of life. And I can just talk about very quick stuff. the science is starting to move and show that through the frequencies of the voice, they can start to see some kind of illness, some kind of problems. So I do it without any machine, right? But the science is recognizing the somatic, the emotional frequencies. The voice is an instrument that starts with all the cellular part in our body. All the cells in our body are connected to our voice. So that's the future. I think in the next 30, 50 years, I will be a little bit old, I can say, probably. Whatever, right? But I really hope, because this is a very helpful way and not wasting time with just, using the brain and try to give excuses or explanation. The voice speaks out loud.
Sure. Super interesting, and good that the science is getting there. It's so important. Great. I am done with my questions. Feel free to mention something if you think would be interesting for everybody. And in the meantime, I would also invite who is watching, listening to us, if they have any questions, we are here. And if not, because you're shy or whatever, feel free to contact Mylena later on, or to me, reach out, and we would be super happy to share more with you. So I don't know, Mylena, is there anything that you would like to add?
There are too many things that I would like to add. You talk about shy people. Shyness is something that is very, very important. I have so many clients on that. Shyness is something that people think is something wrong inside. I always say the shyness means that someone is very sensitive. And sensitivity, abilities to feel the nuances, is a great power. If you unlock that, you can really do much better than others. So I always suggest to everybody here, or whatever we see our live people, right? Get out very slowly with this help through the shyness, because you will see your strength and you will never stop to appreciate your ability to feel.
Yeah, you mentioned shyness. I would bring another one, if I may. Talking about the feeling of being afraid, the fear of, for example, talking in public, public speaking. Everybody thinks it's negative. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not negative.
No, definitely.
And you have to learn how to handle that, because if you manage, if you learn, fears becomes a partner of yourself. So they're all blocks or lenses, I don't know how to call them, that labels, I like that.
Yeah.
That we are assigned with a label, or no, she's too shy, or no, she's too afraid of talking in public. That's not true, or it's not necessarily a negative thing, a negative feeling. So that's so important. And I guess with you, it is possible to learn how to handle that. Okay, let's see. Well, we have some comments here. Very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. I don't know if anyone has any other question. Here we are. I don't know if you can also read it, Mylena. We have one question from Turquoise Interior Design. What practices can you use to unlock a fear? We need another live for this.
Yes, exactly. We need another 9 more, whatever. Yes. The fear. I can say that, again, through the frequencies of the voice, when a person talk about the fear, that probably the person is already aware, I listen, I recognize which kind of fear can be, okay, because we have plenty of nuances of fear, right? It's not just fear, right? Science say there is just fear. No, there are plenty of nuances of fear, right? And when I see that, the voice is giving me the direction, which kind of perfect fear is, then I work, like I said, this kind of puzzle to clean the root of the fear. All right. So you can imagine is like working in harmony, try to rebalance the voice and the explanation of the person regarding the fear, and giving her back a better other frequencies that can heal the frequencies that inside of the body of the person is creating the fear. So I'm not making a lot of talks. I use a voice, I use a word. Sometimes people say, oh, I just say a word, hello. And you're finding that hello, my fear. And then you suggest me to use other words with other frequencies to unveil my fear, and then dig and dig and dig. But I can say that I'm very proud of this method, because working in a systematic way, you really, like an earthquake, remove the fear. So I have clients that has got a very famous, I can say I'm famous on that, or I can say with no ego inside involved, but I'm famous. They come in and say, okay, I have those kind of 15 seconds before a speech anxiety, or 5 seconds speech anxiety with my husband, with my friends, or with the audition, whatever it is, okay? Those 5 seconds or 15 seconds before are very treated in different way, with some medical things, with some whatever, right? But never ever come back and say, I have completely destroyed this kind of fear. I can say I did it for many people, and reduce this 5 sec anxiety, that is the top anxiety before the speech. I think that is one of the things that I
Impressive.
do. Yeah, that absolutely something that people call me and want only that. But fear, as you said before, talking about even the question, I made a speech on the European Commission, and I said we can transform, clean up our fear, and that fears can start to be instead an engagement.
Exactly. Exactly. So back to the practices that Turquoise, this interior design, wanted to know. They are all oral practices. They are all verbal practices. You work on like modulating the sound of different words. You ask the person to pronounce different words. It's in the practice. How that's.
I can say that it's for everybody is very different, Adriana. So I cannot divide even in 3 measures. I can divide probably in 100 measures. So it's a lot. We are talking about 30 years. And like a very craft woman, because I'm proud of it, I usually work very in detail. So for someone, I need to use some breathe exercise. All right.
Okay.
Even if they have some problem. From some other, I need to use some posture exercise. From some other, I need to use some values of life exercise. From some other, I need to use perception of they feel their voice in the body, all right? For others, I need to use how they feel something, some vibes in their throat, all right? So when I said I use the words and the frequencies of the words to rebalance, it's a very superficial way to explain it. So people think that they talk with me and they are just talking. No, 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 no. They are talking, but in the meantime, all my senses are making a lot of, call it calculation, because it's not calculation, but in the future, people will better understand it. Thousands of calculation and say, oh, I heard that sound. That sound, there is something more. Talk about that. And the person say to me, you jump from that. What? And I say, it's written there. So the person say, okay, I talk about that. Now talk about another thing. Some others requires to work on different frequencies, sentences. So I have plenty, because everyone to go so deep has got their own barrier that they want that I, go through. But I can honestly say that I feel the barrier. And when you feel something, you will never be wrong. Mm-hmm. So I hope that I have answered, but I try to explain it, what I do. It depends on the person that is in front of me, all right?
I think
Yeah.
Very important to understand that it's not always a work with the voice. It
Yeah.
can start with the breathing, it can start with posture. I think that's it is very interesting to know.
Yeah. Many of my clients, also talk about telepathy. We don't talk, and I have a very open perceiving, right, direction on telepathy. And I have different clients that what I think, they think, what I feel, they feel. So I don't need to use their voice and my voice. This is very, very rare. They need to be ready on that. So we are talking with Inborn Voice on a very different level, a quantum level, right? So I always say, think about a definitely new world, right? We can compare. Now we have a phone. We are talking. I am in Boston. You are in Milan, whatever. 20 years ago was future, okay? Now it's reality. That is the same for voice. What I do now is future. And it's not, mind cannot understand it. Mind cannot reach it. Voice is too faster. Too fast, right? So go too fast. When you talk, when people talk, I got many information that brain cannot connect together.
Right. Yeah.
But the work with emotional frequencies helps a lot the cognitive and a lot the neurosynaptical way, a lot of benefits, especially for young people that are not very focused on things. I work with a lot of this kind of girls and boys because when you go that, you see the world on another way. So for me, I'm a matrix person, okay? So someone that very see that. It's very, last night, we have just a little bit of time. I saw a movie, and very, I don't want to say it clearly, but someone to solve a problem and it's reality, use a sound machine to make a resonance on the sea to try to block something that was destroying, a very important city. All right, it was just a movie. But if you put a sound in the water, or even if you don't put a sound in the water that is powerful, that can destroy everything. The earthquakes is vibes. Our voice is like an earthquake. We can hurt and we can support in the same with the same instrument.
Absolutely. Well, in the meantime, Turquoise Interior Design, thank you.
Thank you.
You replied to her question. I don't see other questions, so I think we can, say goodbye to everyone. But before, in case there were someone interested in get in touch with you, how would they do that, please?
That's very, very simple, right? So inbornvoice.com, you will find everything. You will find the first approach, that is the voice assessment, the beginning, all right? And then you can decide for your path, your journey. And there are even, retreats, events, masterclass. You could find a lot of things. inbornvoice.com, and everything is there. And if you need something specific, all right, just write to my staff, write to me on Instagram, whatever it is, and I will answer with a lot of joy.
Fantastic. We are having more messages thanking you.
Thank you so much.
Interesting live, full of information. Thank you so much. Amal Design Philosophy is writing. We thank everybody for being there, listening, and sharing this interesting topic with us. And we are here for you. Feel free to reach out. And thank you, Mylena, so much. You've been super generous. And who knows, maybe we can do a second one.
Let's see, the people will let us know if something is involving them and engaging the stuff, okay? So, Adriana, thank you so much. Thank you to all your audience, and, enjoy Milan, enjoy the style, and see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.